Welcome back, folks, again or for the first time to My Combat Channel News. I am not Fabiano Iha, king of the armbar.
I'm Fabiano Iha, the king of armbar.
See how much more authentic that sounds when he says it? Nobody would ever believe that I was the king of anything, like an armbar whatsoever.
Anyway,
Tonight's show, right, stacked?
A little bit late because we live. We live from Beverly Hills, California, and that's how we do. We do live news for you guys.
Plus, in Los Angeles, you can be late for anything and just blame it on traffic. We could be sitting here for 3 hours. It was traffic. We would have been ready on time, but there's traffic.
It was traffic on Cannon Drive.
Yeah,
anyway,
and we got stuck in it.
We got a lot of good stuff to talk about.
Yes, tonight's show deals with the unexpected, the undaunted, and the undeniable history of mixed martial arts. And you know firsthand some of the earlier stages of where this sport has come from.
You call me old.
You're like the Dick Clark of MMA.
Oh my God.
You're not aging, but you know what happened.
I not only I know what happened, I did
You made it happen.
participate on that too. We talk about bare knuckles fight. It started back in the days in Brazil when there was no rules, no time limit, no gloves. Basically, it was 3 rules only, and we're gonna talk about that. But before we get into this, we're gonna talk about Chael Sonnen.
Chael Sonnen staying at the ready. A smart guy, he knows the game, he knows what can happen, so he's on standby expecting to get the fight with Jon Jones at UFC, was it 152?
Yes.
He's determined to be in there. He thinks what's going to happen?
Because what happened is like, Vitor, he hurt himself a couple fights ago, he hurt his hand, and then a lot of people been getting hurt, so he's a smart guy. He say, you know what, I'm not going to stop training, I'm going to keep training and keep myself ready. If anything happened to Vitor, I'm ready to go. And if that happened, I don't think John's gonna be able to deny him because.
No, imagine if he did again.
No, he can't do it.
No,
again.
sorry, I can't.
This time.
But
no.
you know what? Look, say what you will, love or hate Chael Sonnen, but to me that epitomizes the attitude and the mindset of what a professional fighter should be. He's ready. He'll step up, even at a high-level card against who's arguably one of the pound-for-pound best with Jon Jones.
There we go. So anyway, it's another topic that we're going to talk about. This has happened this weekend. Happened before. It's not the first. It's not the. It's going to be the last time.
Not going to be the last.
Definitely not going to be the last time. It's situation on the fight when the fighter have opportunity to submit the guy not in a technical position.
Right.
He kind of adjust a little bit, change angles, and make it happen. That's what happened to Jeff Rexroth.
Yes. That was Legacy FC.
Legacy X.
Legacy FC, you see right there.
There you go. That's a triangle. As you can tell, the leg is not in the right position, so his left leg should be over the shoulders. And he made it happen, and he made another black belt on Jiu-Jitsu tab. This is how you're supposed to do the triangle. That's very calm position in Jiu-Jitsu. It's a triangular position from inside the guard. And we got another picture that's gonna come up that it is side by side.
You got a contrast.
So you guys can see the
There you
difference
go right there.
right there.
That is not before and after, by the way.
No,
that is adapting and then technically sound.
Exactly. What happens is like when you fight and in the situation, if you don't have somebody in your corner, maybe say, you know what, change the angle, change the legs. You do what you gotta do. At the end of the day, you know, he won the fight, one more victory in his career. Bravo. And I most can tell that happened because his opponent is kind of a little bit tired.
Right.
Because if he's in the beginning of the fight, most like that not gonna work. But
how much does it factor in? And you, jiu-jitsu is your thing, right? Later in the fight, often the opponent is a little bit more sweaty and slippery. Now he's taking a triangle and he's modifying it, which shows he can adapt, which is great.
You can adapt,
but
of course.
Is it harder to adapt and recreate the triangle later in the fight because of the sweat?
Yes and no. Of course, the sweat make more difficult, but because the fighter, your opponent, is more tired, it's easy to apply the submission. So it's back and forth, and that situation that helped him. Now we got something very more interesting to talk about.
I got to ask you one thing real fast off first. Has the arm bar ever been adapted in the moment? Let's say by, I don't know, you?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Like more than one time, believe me.
Yeah?
More than one time.
Variations of the arm bar in your repertoire?
You got to, you know, like be like 1, 2, 3 steps on the head. That's what make you better.
Right.
If you only have one angle that you know how to do it, that most likely is not gonna happen.
That would make you prince of the arm bar.
There we go.
Not
Not the king. Not the king.
But you're the king.
If you want to be the king, you better do the stuff right. Anyway, we got professional fighters. Ask.
Yeah.
For what?
For he's willing to fight for food.
Fight for food.
George Masvidal is pleading for a fight. Strikeforce not able to find him something, almost like a very ineffective temp agency in a bad economy. Masvidal wants to fight. Strikeforce, they got nothing.
Yeah. And then again, if you don't know him, that's him right there. He's an amazing fighter.
Yeah.
Very explosive. He's been doing very, very well. The problem is Strikeforce, that's what he signed for.
Yeah.
That signed him in. Got too many fighters signed by the organization, and they don't have that many fights going on, so they put the fighters in hold.
That's true.
So
That's
we got picture of him holding a sign saying that he's gonna fight for food.
Yeah.
Pretty much. There you go.
There it is.
We work for food.
Next to a man who very well put the economy where it is.
Who's that guy? He's a fighter too? He looked like a fighter.
He's possibly he's possibly a fighter. He's definitely a little bit punch drunk.
There you go. Anyway, we got a very exciting segment coming up.
Yep, coming up in part 2 of this My Combat Channel news, the very large Travis Browne, jovial personality, great guy. He'll be here. He'll be actually not here, but he'll be talking to our own Iris Garcia in an interview.
Don't go anywhere. Stay. If you want to go, just go get some coffee, get some drink, come back, because we're going to be here.
He says so. That's reason enough. We'll be right back.
Leave us.
Welcome back, folks, again to My Combat Channel News. We're on time now. No traffic.
No, not at all. So anyway, we got exciting to talk about Travis Browne.
Yes.
Very hard fight he has coming up against Antonio Silva.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Some people don't believe in Bigfoot, but Travis Browne better. Antonio Bigfoot Silva, one of the more athletic and really fast Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu fighters, and at heavyweight, he moves really fast and really well.
Yes, and Travis, he challenged a lot of the tall fighters.
Yep.
That's what we're gonna go over. Like, not us, actually. Iris is gonna go over.
Yes, our own Iris Garcia will have an interview.
She's gonna go ahead and have an interview, and she's gonna bring it up. Why he's been challenged all the taller fighters.
Yep.
For what?
Yeah,
anyway,
he's an extremely game guy. Very fun interview to have. I've interviewed him myself too. Very fun personality. Takes his career very seriously, and you know, taking on a fight with Antonio Bigfoot Silva is not a stepping stone or an easy fight to move up.
And I tell you what, Antonio is not normally sized for Brazilian guys. You see a Brazilian guy right here in front of you.
Yeah.
That's normal. Okay. That guy is very, very tall and big for, you know, for the Brazilian population. I don't know what kind of mix he has, but he's definitely not average in Brazil.
How about his skills as a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu fighter for a guy that big?
Well, if he can put the game together, you know, the whole long legs and everything help him, you know, on the guillotine. He's very good for guillotines, good for triangle, good for a lot of things. That's why I like the tall guys. But also, if he doesn't have the jiu-jitsu game on, it goes against him. So
should he strike with Travis Browne? Because it seems to me that that would be the one area that he would not want to take Travis if you're Antonio Bigfoot Silva.
But that's look like the fight's gonna be
a stand-up war.
Yeah, stand-up war. Like and Travis is like. Also, Travis has submission.
Yeah.
He has submission in his game. He have not only submission and strike. He has something else in his game. That's what the interview gonna go for. And so, you guys go ahead and tell what you think. I think it's like, it's gonna be an interesting fight.
Yep. The one person we know we could sick on Travis Browne and get anything out of him we wanted was a very beautiful, very talented Iris Garcia. She goes toe-to-toe with Travis Browne.
Check it out. Let's see what this challenge is about.
She is the one that's going to get hurt. Yeah.
I'm here with Travis Browne, set to fight on UFC on FX5 on October 5th. So right now you are preparing for that fight, but before you were supposed to fight on UFC on Fox 4 against Rothwell. How long was it that you found out that you were never, like, you weren't going to fight him anymore?
I just found out about 10 days ago. So 10 days before the fight, I found out I wasn't fighting. And, you know, at the time it was pretty tough to take. You know, as an athlete, you want to go out there and perform. And I wasn't going to get my chance to, so I was pretty bummed.
So once you found out, how much longer after that did you find out you were going to end up fighting against Bigfoot?
I found out like a day later, so I wasn't too sad for too long. But still, that one day, I was sitting there like in my living room on my couch with crickets. I was just like, I don't know what to do with my life right now, you know, because that's all you're doing for 8 weeks, and so because I was so close to the fight, I had that mentality that I was already fighting, and so I just didn't know what to do with myself for that day. But as soon as I found out that I was fighting, I was able to relax a little bit more. So since then, I've just been taking time off and just kind of letting my body reset from all the training.
Yeah, so were you able to watch on the last fight against Bigfoot with King Velasquez?
Yeah, I was actually there. I was there, yeah.
What did you think about that fight?
It was a good fight. I mean, you know, King executed his game plan perfectly, and you know, it didn't really give Bigfoot a chance to show what he can do in the UFC, but he's a dangerous guy, and you know, I'm definitely not taking him lightly. There's no way you can take anybody in this division lightly, especially a guy like that. So, you know, I'll be coming with full guns blazing. You
know, the Sager 2000 was by far one of the most blood I've ever seen in a live event, and that was pretty hard to watch.
Yeah, that was a good one. You know, that was a gusher. So, you know, most of my fights really don't get too bloody. I've only had one fight that's gotten bloody, but I don't mind. I actually look forward to it. It kind of gets me a little riled up, a little excited when I start seeing blood. It's like I'm in a fight.
Yeah. So. Can smell it and everything, right? Yeah.
Sure.
Well, how do you think you match up against him?
You know, I think I match up pretty well. You know, the one thing that he's a very large individual. He has to cut to make 265. But I think that I'm on the athletic side of the heavyweight division, and I think that's what's going to give him the most problems in our fight. Just enjoy the fight. It's going to be a great time. Me and Bigfoot, I'm ready. I've been chomping at the bit for the last 8 weeks, and I'm about to go to the grindstone right now for another 8 weeks, and even bring more motivation to the table. I'll be ready.
Yeah, you know what, even talk about that now. We are in Staples Center. Outside, there's 3-on-3 basketball, 9-2 basketball going on. Stephon Strue's out there, really tall as well. Would you ever challenge him in a dunking competition?
Oh yeah, for sure. This boy's got hops right here, so you better watch out. I mean, I would have to say that one-on-one, I probably have some of the best basketball in the UFC.
Wow, really?
I'm saying that. I am saying that right now. In the UFC, I'm one of the best, or if not best, basketball players.
Do you feel a little bit more confident? We think that he cannot play basketball, right? He hasn't played ball at all.
Mm-hmm. Right? It doesn't matter. I'm telling you, you play basketball. If you thought you played basketball, if you thought about playing basketball, then I will beat you.
Thanks, Travis. Good luck.
Thank you.
Welcome back, folks, again to My Combat Channel News. We want to talk to you about this thing called MMA, Mixed Martial Arts.
History of MMA.
Yeah, because it started somewhere, and a lot of folks have different stories. We were talking about it. It's almost like Bible stories where people have different people all over the world, different populations and civilizations have Messiah stories that are almost the same but different. Same thing with Ultimate Fighting.
Exactly. So let's go back to Brazil when everything started. So back in the days, no gloves, no rules. Was actually like only 3 rules, and you know what that is?
Yes, the 3 rules were eye gouging, not happening; biting, not happening; fish hooking, not happening.
No time limit, okay? And it was bare knuckle, and that's it. Basically, like, either you get knockout, submission, or if without medical condition, the medical could stop the fight. That was back in the days in Brazil. And then when the UFC started, the first UFC was exactly the same rules, the same style, and it was also tournament. So the guys have to fight more than one time on the same night.
Yeah,
so
8 to 16 men in one tournament in one night, originally called a Vale Tudo.
I love that particular one.
Why do you love this one particular?
That was the first fight in the first UFC. When he goes and he right there, here we go.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, his tooth fell into the crowd. You know that?
His tooth went in the crowd?
Yeah, by that kick. It was a very good classic
moment
shot
in the history of the sport.
Oh my God!
So something's evolved in the sport. The rules was one thing. Big John McCarthy, instrumental in creating many of the rules, like Fisher. He would see stuff that would happen. He would see that when somebody did something, the only way to defend it was something else illegal, so he had to rule out that as well. So it was an evolution. What about the hands?
So let me tell you guys something very cool. So it was no gloves on the beginning, and they come out with this tiny little gloves. Question in the air. Do you know why they come out with the gloves? Do you really think it's to protect the other guy, the opponent's face? Not at all. The problem is protect the hands of the fighters. The fighters, when they fight without a bare knuckle and they throw a punch into the guy's forehead, if he ducks, he either gonna break some of the up bones or his wrist.
Right.
So they decide to come out with a glove that only 8 ounces. But the deal is you can wrap your wrist under and get more solid grip and stronger punch. And the fight was able to go longer, besides that they have to stop or give up because they broke his hand.
How much has this evolved since the beginning of the sport, before we move on? How much has this glove evolved? Is it almost identical to where it started?
Yeah, exactly identical. But you know what's not identical?
What?
The top 10. Change every time. And here we go. So who we got this week?
Aaron Gales is going to count down our top 10
lightweight.
Hi, I'm Aaron Gales, and this is the top 10 lightweight division. Number 10 is Michael Chandler. And number 9 is Clay Guida. Number 8, Jim Miller. And number 7, Donald Cerrone. Number 6, Anthony Showtime Pettis. And number 5 is Gilbert El Nino Melendez. And number 4 is Gray the Bully Maynard. Number 3, Nate Diaz. Number 2 is Frankie the Answer Edgar. And number 1 is Benson Smooth Henderson. My name is Aaron Gales, and that was the top 10 lightweight division.
Thank you.
So,
that was a great.
Yeah, that was good. But now, see, when I have this on, suddenly I don't care about being king of any kind of armbar.
Oh, how you got my gloves on?
I'm feeling a little bit brave, a little squirrely.
I got something for you, buddy.
I changed my mind. You erased a childhood memory there.
There we go.
So, again, as we saw, the lightweight division, one of the best divisions in MMA, bar none. The top 5 alone, legitimate contenders for a title at any moment. Again,
just the beginning of the week. We got a lot to talk. We got good things coming up this whole week, and exciting.
Yeah.
It's like I can't wait, to talk more about Victor against John Jones.
Yep.
I think we're gonna have more drama to talk about that particular episode. This didn't finish yet.
I would be
The soap opera didn't finish yet.
really impressed if the soap opera included Vitor getting hurt and Chael getting to step in as he predicted and trained for. That would be newsworthy. So we thank you for joining us here at My Combat Channel News. On behalf of myself, the One Glove Yak Man.
And also, don't forget, check us out on tomorrow.
Yes, that's Fabio Nija. He's saying goodnight too. He's just not ready.